Okay, students, today we want to look at the second half of lesson from 6.1 in your book, and essentially we just want to use Excel to construct a table of values from a formula. So we're going to look at the Fahrenheit formula first of all, converting that back to Celsius, and then we'll look at Pythagoras theorem. And then for your mastery exercise, you'll have a go at the body mass index activity. So we'll just put in a screen recording of a couple of Excel lessons now. Okay, let's also create a table of values from our formula working through Fahrenheit and Celsius, and we're going to just look at some temperature conversions. So we know that Fahrenheit is a little bit unusual in terms of measuring temperature because only one or two countries in the world use it. All we're going to do is use our formula, that C equals 5/9 of F take 32. What we're going to do is put in a bunch of F values for Fahrenheit, and let's go negative 20, negative 10, and 0. Once I've set 3, I can go down to, let's go 120 Fahrenheit. And then what did we say? We said that C equals 5/9 of F take 32. I've just written the formula there. What I would like to do now is to write this out. So we're going to say this is our Celsius. It equals 5/9 of, in this case, this is our F. And then we're going to take 32. And we found a typo. Let's see what happened. I didn't know. Oh, yes, I needed to put a time sign in there. So, okay. You can see I should have put an asterisk for the time sign. So I'll just do that again. So, negative 20 Fahrenheit equals what? 5/9 times, and this is our F value. I should put brackets there. So here's our F value. Take 32 and close brackets. There we go. Now, beauty of Excel is that it will continue to calculate these for us. So what do we have? There's our formula there. So remember to copy this down. We just select the cell, move our cursor to the bottom right hand corner, left click and drag. And there we go. So 30 degrees, maybe 32 degrees, that makes sense, doesn't it? 32 degrees Celsius, Fahrenheit is 0 degrees Celsius. I'll just put that there so it looks good. You know, you can graph this up, and we've done that before back in Unit 1, just using XY scatter, and you can see that. Okay. Okay, students, what am I hoping to do with you today is to be able to use a spreadsheet to construct a table of values. First one I thought I might do is work through with you with Pythagoras theorems, and we're quite familiar with that. So we know that Pythagoras theorem says that the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square of the sides. So what I'm going to do is calculate the hypotenuse values for all triangles from 1 by 1 to 10 by 10. And so what we're going to do is just to create the lengths of side A and side B. So what I've done here is I've just written in the first 3 values, and then I move my cursor to the bottom right hand corner of that and left click drag over to continue that pattern. And that's going to be side A, and let's say this is side B going down the side here. This column. Take it down by 10. Oops, I need one more. Let's punch that in. Now we said that what the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the square of the sides. So we're saying, well, if I say that squared to the power of 2 plus that to the power of 2, that should be the square of the hypotenuse. And 1 squared plus 1 squared, well, 1 plus 1 equals 2. That's all straightforward. What we want to do now is to find the square root of that. So I'm going to put all of that in brackets. I'm going to use the Excel function sqrt, and that stands for square root. And the number I'm looking for is 1.41, yep, the square root of 2. And there we have it. Now I could do the same thing down here. I could say, well, equals that squared to the power of 2 plus that to the power of 2, and type the whole thing in again, so we put that into brackets, and then sqrt, but that's going to be quite painful if I do it that way. So there's a sneaky little way we can do it with Excel. I'll show you this now. So the beauty of Excel is that it will help us calculate a table of values quite quickly if we use the formula. I'm just going to work across first of all and see what I'm looking at here. So at the moment it's saying what the side here is 1.41, but we want that side to be 1, because we've got one side 2 and one side 1. So you can see what's happening here is that if you have a look at up in this, the formula bar, that's changing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put up $sign in front of that. And so let's see what happens if I copy that across. And let's see if this is reading correctly. Now it's saying that the hypotenuse of a triangle with one side of 1 centimeter and another side of 10 centimeters, the hypotenuse is going to be 10.05 centimeters, for example. And I better just copy this one back just to keep that $sign going. Now, if I were to copy this down, let's see what the problem is going to be. Is there going to be any problem? Not at all. So that's working well for me. And if I copy this down, let's see if there's going to be any problem. Oh, there is. So what did I do differently here? Oh, there was a problem. My mistake. I also need to put a $sign in front of this value here. You can see that's B1, B2. So let's go and do this across. So I'm just going to delete that. I'm going to delete that. So we've got our set of values all going across the top at the moment, so that's good. And we're just going to have to work with some of these now. So I'll drag this down and I'll have to be entering into the formula bar. So I'm looking at what's changing. It's going from B1 to B2. So I have to put a $sign in front of the 1. So let's do that. And this color code helps. Let's just drag down and 10.04. So this and the one on the other corner should be the same. Yep, you can see that. Now let's see if I drag across now. So what am I going to have to do if I do this one? Let's have a look what's different. So if I click there and click there, you can see that that should be C1, can't you? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to go across and put $signs in front of the 1. So I'm just going to quickly do that now. So I'll just check. Remember, it was the blue one. So I'm going to go $sign in front of that one there. Then I go a $sign in front of that one. $sign in front of that one. What this does, it makes it an absolute reference rather than a relative reference. And in front of the 1, in front of the 1. In front of, oops, it's in front of the J, in front of the 1, and in front of the 1. Now I can select all of those and work down. And let's just check to see if this works. That's 10 by 10. And let's quickly problem solve that. So what is it? 10 squared. So we want to just look at the square root of 10 squared plus 10 squared, 14.14. Yep, so that's working well for us. So you've had a look at a couple of exercises there with Excel. What I'm wanting you to do now is use that spreadsheet and have a go at these 4 questions from your textbook to create a table of values from a formula.